What's up, guys? Here's a little question that some of you may have asked. Hey, my kid wants to buy a bike, but they're just a little too young, and I don't want to buy them anything expensive, so maybe we should get a little China bike or something like that, a little knockoff. It'd be good for them, run 55, 60 miles an hour. Let me show you why that is probably the worst thing you can do, and this bike is probably the worst bike I've ever seen. This is the reason I'm building this video. You can see that this thing is the CXR, I don't know, what does this thing say? STR 250 Hong, I don't know the name of the company, but anyway, it's a little 250, obvious China bike. There's so many clues, like, when your main fuse is that, and you got wires like that, and then you have these pimp handlebars. Look at those clip-ons, fantastic. Quality mirrors that are obviously DOT. And then we start to realize that things are just horribly, horribly wrong. So the first thing, well, it came in, the guy just bought it, said, hey, the guy I bought it from says it needs valve adjustments and it'll run just fine. And I'm like, well, first off, I don't like working on China stuff, but he's a buddy of mine, so I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot, see what's up. So first thing I noticed, let's step back over here so you can see what's really happening. First thing I noticed was that the intake was glued. So that's a surefire sign that there is a problem. So, because it is a whatever brand Dongfeng motor, whatever, finding parts is going to be stupid. So I have some really good sealant glue that works well on stuff like this in a pinch. So I put that on there and fired it up, and it was still had an intake leak. That's because there is a hole, if I can get you where I need you to be, right there in the carb. So I called him. I'm like, yeah, we got bigger problems now. We got a car with a thing with a hole in it. And then so I started looking it around, and then I noticed that my friend, is a motor mount that should go up in there. There's a little place for it. There it is right there. You can kind of see it. Yeah, right there, which broke off the frame. So I'm like, wow. All right, well, what else we got? So then we make a little walk over here, and I noticed that there is a hole right here. Then I noticed that there is a broken weld right there. Which means, which means there was another bar. If I can get it to go down there. That bar right there that goes all the way around and hooks in right there. Should have been the same over here. The bar should have been right there. It should have came out, and it should have walked all the way down into there. There. Okay, so now that's two broken major frame flaws. And I also noticed the X's on the, if I can find them again, there's little yellow X's. There's one. There's one. There's like 4 or 5 of them on the header, if that's what you want to call it. So, I don't know, does that mean it was X to be crushed and somebody swiped it? I don't know. Um, but it just keeps getting better. I mean, you got your exhaust pipe that this hook is still here, but that one for the spring, it's gone. Then when I pull the seat, I noticed this little boy. And I'm like, that looks like a rear axle adjustment. So why was it down in the toolbox? Maybe it's a spare, but let's look and find out. And Lord and behold, it's gone, which means that in the toolbox belongs right there. You know, sort of like that one. So now the whole thing is the axle can shift, which is going to be quality going down the road at the probably blazing speed of about 60 if you throw it down the hill, maybe. And then the chain gets crooked, slaps off the front sprocket, wraps around, cut your leg off. And of course, none of these welds are going to hold it because you've got crap welds like that. Holy jeez. Are you kidding me? Look at that. What kind of freaking 12-year-old sweatshop stuff is going on there? I mean, those are... my first year of practice welding came out better than that. And I still suck at welding, if that tells you anything. But I mean, it's just everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, look. Where did that come from? Why is that broken? Oil leaking all down off the top of the timing chain. Oh, I didn't see that. Check that out. The shifter is halfway or better off of the linkage. That's pretty cool. Chain's nice and floppy, which of course it is because the adjusters broke off. I did take the airbox off when I was messing with the car. There's no air breather in it. Plus, there's nowhere for an air breather to sit. There's no marks or anything. So I don't know what that's about. If it ever had one, or I don't know. Not really up to date on my China factory motorcycles. And I mean, you can just tell. I mean, look at this mess. Look at this train wreck. So, basically what I'm saying is, dads, moms, uncles, aunts, grandmas, grandpas, whoever you are, if you have one of your kids or loved ones who's really wanting to learn how to ride a motorcycle, but you don't want to spend, a buttload of money on something super nice, buy a used motorcycle from the top names: Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki, BMW. You don't have to get high end. You can get an inexpensive Honda, any of them. You can find them. I've seen them for $1,000. They're beat up, but they still run. They got good tires on them, but they're beat up. And that's what you want if you're learning how to ride one, or you're showing somebody else how to ride one. At least spend a couple of bucks and get something that's not going to get you killed. Because that, my friends, is going to get you killed. Those welds are horrible. I mean, I don't understand. I just don't understand how somebody could sleep at night knowing that they're going to put this two-wheel disaster and put somebody on it. And it's a 250, so it's probably going to be somebody inexperienced or small, And I mean, just flipping around. Look at those horrible welds. And I mean, it's no reason it broke out of there. I mean, there's no wondering why. Maybe I got said it wrong. So yeah, just stay away from the China stuff. Oh yeah, and I welded the bracket on first because the whole steel bracket had broke off because it's got 1/8 inch rusted metal holding it together. Okay, so there it is. Just trying to help anybody out. Oh, and it's got a manual fuel pump too. Vacuum fuel pump. Look at that. How many sport bikes you got that's got that? None. So, just trying to help anybody out that might want to think about it, Think about it. Do a little research. If you're bound damn determined to buy something like this, at least look it over and check it out. And look for silly stuff like that, like broken frames. So, all right, guys, gals, and everybody in between. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, great day, great week. We'll see you next time.